Dan Larson here, and I'm at the photo booth to take a look at some of the stuff that I acquired this week. First off, I'm going to tilt you up a little bit here. Have a look at the back of the booth. 2004 Neca Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Nice figure. Good detail. Obviously, they're always good with their sculpting and paint apps and everything. Not crazy about the face on this one, though. I'm a fan of the more the regular happy face, sort of logo version of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. He's got a little bit of articulation here. His arms do move. His head moves a bit. But that, that's pretty much it. I mean, you don't really need a lot of articulation out of a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And the good news is that even though it's Neca, you're going to be hard-pressed to break this one fresh out of the package or at any other time. I could probably drop this, and he wouldn't break, so that's good news. I'm going to get him out of the booth here, just so we can reframe you and talk about some of this other stuff. Next up, we've got, we're going to stay with the Ghostbusters. We've got, this isn't even that old. I think he's from maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. The Ghostbusters Funko Pop. I would say probably one of the top, definitely one of the top three for me, and one of the only three figures that I'll ever own from Funko Pop. Of course, I have Sharknado. Maybe it has something to do with the translucent plastic. I don't know, but I think it also has something to do with the fact that I'm not a fan of the cold, dead black eyes, and it tends to make everything look cold and dead, like they're possessed by a demon. Now, sharks tend to have those kind of eyes anyway, so it works for Sharknado, and Slimer is Slimer, and he's a ghost, and I still think this figure would be better if he had, I don't know, some pupils, a little bit of personality in the face, but I do like the translucent, the clear plastic effect with the slime and sort of the floating effect that creates, so big fan of him. The third one that I'll be getting when it comes out is, of course, Voltron. Over here, staying again with Ghostbusters, is the 2004, also from Neca. Once again, incredible, the Terror Dog from Ghostbusters. Again, incredible sculpting, incredible attention to detail. The problem is a lot of Neca stuff just ends up being statues, and in the case of this figure, it works, because, even in the movie, this figure wasn't very articulated or posable of any kind. He does have sort of hip joints. He's got this little elbow rotation here. But none of that matters. They could have just taken that all out, and still he's in the pose he needs to be in. I think his jaw is articulated a bit here, and he does rotate a bit. But it doesn't matter, because if you move those things, it messes up the lines of the sculpt anyway. Of course, the most important thing here is that his tail is a switch, and when you hit the switch, his eyes light up. Really, really nice figure. Really fantastic. Unfortunately, I've only got the one. I'm going to have to get a second one. And then, of course, I'm going to need a Gozer and Ray and Egon and all the other guys. Over here, before he fell down, is 2013. I can't believe it's already 2 years old. This is the Mandroid Wave, Mandroid Build-A-Figure Red Skull. There he is. Of course, recycled Nick Fury body, which, and coat, which I'm not crazy about. I don't know what this gun is supposed to be. It's kind of a weird gun there. No focus. All right, whatever. And, it's a decent Red Skull head. It's, he kind of looks like Grumpy Cat a bit. My number one complaint with, of course, this body mold is that you can't put his arms down any further than that, which is fine if he had his Cosmic Cube and he could be holding it up and that sort of thing. But mine didn't come with the Cosmic Cube, thanks secondary market. You just can't put his arms down any further than that. So no standing, sort of imposing kind of look for him. He's always got to look like he just put on, like he's got cold, wet deodorant under his arms, and he can't put his arms down any further. And that's not what I want out of a figure. Next up, we've got, this is from 1993, the Super Mario Brothers movie Mario. Of course, Bob Hoskins, of course. Weird thing about this, other than the fact that it's from the movie that I'll admit I have never seen. I was working at a movie theater at the time, but I never took the time to actually stay in that theater and watch it. I think Aladdin was playing or something, and I'd rather watch that instead of this diarrhea. The weird thing about this figure, other than what it is that it was made by Ertl, the people who brought you all those die-cast John Deere threshing machines. So, nice job, Ertl. I guess this might have been your exit from the game, from the action figure game. Not sure, but way to go out in style. Also picked up a, excuse me, a Black Series, there we go, Black Series R2-D2. This now completes Wave 1 for me. I already had X-Wing Luke, Darth Maul, and the Sand Trooper. I was fortunate enough to get a sample that does have all of his little attachments. I'm not going to go into all of that here. Couldn't bring myself to pay even 20 bucks for this thing, so I had to wait until I could acquire it from another collector in trade. You know, it's just not substantial enough. He should have been a pack-in with Yoda. He should have been a pack-in with Luke. He should have been a pack-in with Wicket. He should have been a pack-in somewhere else. There's no reason we should have been forced to pay 20 bucks for this thing, especially when it's got this horrible mechanism where you have to turn his head to get his third leg to come out, and then when you do have it all the way rotated around, it's too far out. But I'm sure you've seen reviews on that by now. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Overall, I mean, whatever. He's nice for what he is. Next up, we've got, this obviously isn't old, this is a very new piece that I just picked up, but I don't think we're going to get a full 4-minute review out of this one, so I'm just going to say that Black Series Guavian Enforcer, Guavian? We don't know yet for sure. Decent enough looking figure. I don't know how Star Wars it is yet, we'll see how he fits into the film, we'll see what he does. This is feeling like a Bosk kind of thing to me. Cool looking character that doesn't actually end up really doing anything in the film, we just sort of see him in the background or something. Obviously, a lot of comparisons have been made to either Deadpool or Red Hood, or for me, it's the Target logo. That's all I can see here is the Target logo. And then, of course, I keep seeing these 2 red circles on his buckle, on his pouches here, and I keep thinking, I'll bet those are his eyes. Over here, we've got Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man, which, of course, when you get these things via the secondary market, you're not always going to get all the little pack-ins and accessories they came with. Of course, this figure came with a couple of different hand sets, so we're stuck with the fists on this one. That's fine, I have another one, but had to pick this guy up. The reason I really wanted to include it in here is, A, I still like this figure. Pizza Spider-Man from the Rhino build, not Rhino. Pizza Spider-Man is a great figure, but I still do love this one as more of a realistic looking figure, but this was also acquired this week, and I wanted to just sort of hold these up in contrast to each other and say, especially for you newer collectors, this figure came out in 1990. Toy Biz, he's supposed to have 2 suction cups on his hands, so he can sort of, this one is like ripped off, so he can be like scaling a wall and sticking to windows and stuff. But my point is, this was the only, which makes it the best figure available on the market in 1990. You kids today, you collectors today, you've got this, you've got Pizza Spider-Man, and like 80,000 other Spider-Man figures to choose from. So we can worry about the minuscule details of like, oh, the shoulder joint is weird. Oh, I wish the lines were raised instead of recessed. Oh, I don't like the Spider-Man logo on that. Oh, he should be redder. This was all we had. This was it. No elbows. He's perpetually high-fiving everyone, touchdown sign, his proportions are weird, he's got little T-Rex arms, yeah, he's got knees, but who cares, what's the point? You got it good today, guys, that's all I'm saying, is just think about that the next time you gotta make your video about how much something sucks. Also, I want to include this because I picked up a Marvel Select Venom, who is now 2 years old, 2013, tuck this up a little bit here, kind of tall. Didn't have a really great Venom figure in my collection. I've been working with the one from the movie, from the Tobey Maguire, the Spider-Man 3, with Topher Grace, excuse me, as Venom. I did like that figure. In fact, it's this figure here, the movie Venom. I've liked this one in my personal collection. I'm not a big fan of the tongue out version of Venom, but I realize that's part of the sort of character now. But I really did like the way that this figure was executed. He could have had a little bit more articulation, specifically the way it's sculpted. His ab crunch doesn't really do anything. It swivels a bit, but it doesn't crunch. He could have been a better figure. And that's really the same complaint I have about this. First of all, it's cool that he comes with all this crazy crap that you can snap onto him. He's got this backpack, he's got these little arms, these hands can be taken out and put on the regular Venom. He's got all these little Venom pod heads. But that's not, for me, that's not who Venom really is. Like, I don't love the crazy tongue thing, so fortunately he did come with an alternate head. You know, I was reading comics before Venom actually even existed, so for me, for me, is always going to be this Venom with the regular Eddie Brock. You know, he's just a big dude, which works great, you know, compared to the regular Spider-Man figures. He just towers over him. But he could use a little bit more articulation. He's only got the single-jointed knees and no ankle rockers, and his ab crunch doesn't really do much. So it's tough to really get him into good poses other than just sort of standing there being big. But pretty cool figure. I'll be interested to see how it stacks up against the new Marvel Legends one coming out, which is built on the same body, of course, as the Anti-Venom, and a lot of the other big guy figures that they've been doing. So he's going to be about 2 inches shorter than this one, but we'll have to see how that shakes out. Anyway, that's the stuff I picked up this week. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you later.